Hello again, everyone. I'm Gary Godsoe, and welcome to Velocity Online Racing's coverage of Round 10 of Season 12 of the VOR Signature Series, the IndyCar Championship. And today we come to you today, or today twice. This just tells you what type of day I've had. But today we are coming to you from Pocono Raceway for the Lovern Inc. 350, which is our second longest race of the season. Joining me in the booth, having a better day than I have. He just kind of has to show up and give us his expertise, and he does it well, is Ryan Erik King. Ryan, welcome to Pocono for our second longest race of the season. Qualifications are currently underway, and the first couple times are starting to click in.
Yeah, and it's qualifying at Pocono sort of means a lot because it is a long run down to turn one here at Pocono, and you want to be out in front. You don't want to be in the middle of the 4 to 5 wide mess as everyone piles into the first corner.
Or the third, or the second corner, which has happened to me before, which Julian has found that video and decided to put it on the Discord to remind everyone of my first lap wreck at one of the Pocono races we've had here in the past. At 2 minutes and 17 seconds here left to play. Let's get the weather conditions off the map. You saw off the screen here. You do see that it's currently 76 degrees, ambient 111 now degrees, track temperature, and the humidity is 40%, and the winds out of the northwest roughly right now at about 9 miles an hour. Seb Kinder on the pole, the provisional speed of 216.937. We are watching Aiden on the racetrack. There we go. So he's not led any laps yet because we haven't had raced yet. But there he is. He just completed his run. He is provisionally second with a 216.6. Watching Julian, who won yesterday's DW12 race here. Led the last two laps of the season. Oh, God. I cannot talk today. He led the last two laps of the race. That's what I'm trying to say. And came from kind of deep in the field, and after making his own mistake mid-race, and he won the race and is the points leader in the DW12 series, as well as, let's bring up the points here for the IndyCar Series and the IndyCar Championship. He is the points leader here. So, looking to go back-to-back here, going DW12 Championship and R18. But he has a challenge from Jesper Orman, who we expect to do very well here today. In fact, he is provisionally back on the pole now, the 217.2. We'll show you that here in just a second. Liam O'Sullivan is third. Murph is fourth. Forsyth is fifth, but he's not in the lineup because he's sunning and funning down in St. Martin in the Caribbean, and it's made me insanely jealous. You see Orman on the top of the tree there. A 217.2, only driver in 217 range, just until I say that. And then Matty Wagner wags up there to 217.2, showing today that he is an IR18 pilot and not a stock car ace. As we now have 5 seconds left in qualifying, and we will wrap this up and get a starting lineup in here for you. For our 350 miler at Pocono, 100% fuel, 7 sets of tires, 140 laps, 350 miles, 55 miles per hour pace, pit road speed limits. Anything else I need to mention here? We do have some penalties before we get into today's starting lineup, just to let you know what we got going on. Today, Pocono starting for the pits, and is Holland. Tom Holland is in the lineup. He will be starting for the pits. Qualifying ban will be Lovern, Inch, Bennyworth, and Santos. If any of them made the lineup, they will have a Q ban. That means just simply an EOL. And then we have 2 drivers facing a race suspension, and I do not think I even seen them in the lobby at all. And so that means that they are serving their suspension, and we will see them at the next race at early November. November 2nd is our next race on the series, and that will be at Kentucky. And that's probably a good time to also show you this. this schedule. As you see, this schedule last time I updated it, or was given to me updated, showed us just completed Indianapolis, and then Nashville and Laguna Seca were just ahead of us on the schedule. Well, now it's now Nashville and Laguna Seca are behind us. Of course, we're Pocono this week, and we will be at Kentucky here November 2nd. Phoenix on the 16th of November, and then 2 races in December, wrapping up at Lost Wages for the championship. Let's get into today's starting lineup. Orman and Wagner up front on the pole. Both of those guys in the 217 range. In fact, the first 5 are in the 217 range. So we might see some differences in pace and style to start this race out. Strauss and O'Sullivan back on row 2. Strauss had a podium yesterday in the DW12 race. Sullivan had a podium coming to the checkered flag in the DW12 race. He just didn't make it to the checkered flag in the DW12 race. He's going to be 4th today, hoping to make it to the checkered flag at the end of the 350 miles here. Santos and Kinder on 3. Christensen and Julian back on row 4. Molina and Aiden back on row 5. A good oval start for Aiden. I suspect that he's going to do pretty well here. Pocono does tend to lend itself well to those that drive as their primary format of a race on road courses, and we know that Aiden's been learning on the ovals this year, so I suspect he will do pretty well here. Moving on back further is Coker and Bonnie, Evans and Silvazzi, Inch and Lovern, Gallas and Morales, Bennyworth and Bonder. That is rows 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And Holland bringing back row 11. And the field now is under the control of Jesper Orman, who's going to waste 0 time, and he's on it. We are green flag here at Pocono. Liam O'Sullivan going to go 3 wide into 1. That did not work out. He has to tuck back in. That did not work out for him, but he did not lose a lot of space. As you said, bold. Very bold. Santos and Kinder side by side in 3. Julian now on the inside of Molina. 4 wide, a little bit further on back. Oh, Lovern.
It's real close.
Yes, it is. We don't want Lovern crashing out early in the race that his family name sponsors. Bennyworth to the inside, coming into 2. We've got to get single file through here. Trust me, I know.
Had a bit of a dust up between O'Sullivan and...
Got Wagner and O'Sullivan and Santos and Kinder back there. In the pre-race, Wagner's saying that this paint scheme he's running, and we will show Wagner in the paint scheme. Says hates this track, so he's hoping to give it a better performance. I'm not sure exactly what he's running. Normally we see him in kind of a Miller Genuine Draft type of scheme, kind of a Bobby Rahal-esque, but he's in a red and black today. What is that? Well, it's a P1 broadcasting car. Okay, well, it better do well today. Strauss surprisingly finished on, and I don't mean it in a negative way. Let's say Strauss started the last lap at the DW12 race yesterday. Caution on the racetrack. Alexander Bonney. Not sure what happened to him, but it was off of 2. Let's do a replay here. I think he might have just been all by himself.
Yeah, just by himself, touched the apron and backed it into the
wall.
wall.
Yeah, apron bad. That will do it. And backs it into the wall, and that might be day done for the beneficiary of our DW12 series. So we are under caution now. Very early, lap 5 of 140. As you don't see, unless there's cars hitting each other and bouncing off one another, or there's a driver error like that of going down to the apron and catching the apron and backing it into the wall. You don't see, once cars start getting running here at Pocono, you don't see very many cautions because they kind of all stretch out, and there's a lot of room to race here at Pocono. Very wide, straights are long, the corners are, with the exception of 2, the corners are fairly long as well, so you could pick a different line in the corner and you don't have to get in single file. Really the only turn here that is like that is turn 2, the tunnel turn modeled after Indianapolis, but we'll see who's going to dip the pit road. I don't think any of the leaders will. We shall see. I will expect that those further back in the pack, maybe beyond 12th, 13th. Nope, here comes Jesper. Jesper's going to prove me wrong. He just did the opposite of what Strauss did. Strauss going to stay out. Orman's going to come in, and the rest of the field is going to kind of come with him. Matty Wag's going to stay out, though. Santos going to stay out. O'Sullivan coming to pit road. Julian, the Altena Autosport gang, is going to split their strategies there. Looks like Christensen and Altena will stay out as well. Nope. Looks like Lovern will come to pit road for the other half of the team, as well as O'Sullivan also coming to pit road to top off the tank. So they're just going to go a little bit longer here on this first stint. Much like Indianapolis, they can do about 30 laps here in a stint. So we're looking at about 4 stops to get to the end here, give or take. So is there enough of fuel saving that's going to happen back here with these guys that kind of pit road to shave off that it's going to be a little bit more than 4 stops. It's like 4.6, maybe 4.5 stops to get home. So is this enough of a run here and fuel save to eliminate a half a stop? I don't know. It's going to be close.
Yeah, it'll be close. If there's another caution, then sure, you'll be able to make it. But it'd be, if we were green the rest of the way, it'd be too much saving. It would compromise your pace.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say that, Matt. It does look very Lucas Oil, Robert Wickens-like. Although I thought it was more, I thought the Wickens car had more red chrome on it. I can't recall. That's well, here comes Julian coming to pit road. Nope, just going to the inside of the track to save fuel. And Jesper to the inside of the track. Maybe run for a drink or something to come back out. run to the restroom, run to the kitchen, grab a drink, come back to the computer. So I could not do that because I have VR. So that's just setting up and turning off and taking off too much stuff. I don't think he does race with VR, so maybe he's got it down to a science. Looks like everyone that did come to pit road changed tires too after just 5 laps. So anyways, I'm getting ready to say, before we had our incident, Strauss, who is our leader, he's also down in the lower portion of the racetrack trying to save some fuel. He took the white flag yesterday, the DW12 race, back and forth. Actually, back and fifth. And by the time he came back around and took the checkered flag, O'Sullivan was racing, Liam O'Sullivan was racing Will Lyon for what would have basically been P2, and they both wrecked coming off of corner number 3. And effectively basically made them both speed into the pits. And as a result, then that gave a 1-lap penalty to O'Sullivan, who actually made it over the line before Strauss. But then Strauss was then awarded the bottom step of the podium because of the 1-lap penalty applied as the speed. And he's coming up to speed right now. Matter of fact, we're back to green. So Strauss has had a pretty good weekend already here at Pocono. Not as good as Julian, though. Julian got the win yesterday. So he's looking to do double duty and go back-to-back here. And VOR visits the same track. Bennyworth side by side back there a little bit further with Coker. O'Sullivan to the inside of Gallus. Now a Bonder. Bonder was having a good race yesterday in the DW12 series until coming to pit road. A lot of drivers were having issues trying to break under green, doing green flag pit stops coming to pit road. He was among them. Julian was among them as well. Liam O'Sullivan on the high side and around on the high side gets the position. Julian locked it up, spun to the inside wall. Enough for the caution to come out, and then he just went down pit road, got a new front wing, and away he went. There's Lovern and Orman. Going to watch Lovern here on P1, as a matter of fact, next week. He will be in the Votive Racing League's finale at Indianapolis. He's currently 4th in the championship there. Or Shane in 10th. He's the admin of Votive. There he is. Tempting fate with the green car. Salvazzi, Molina, Bennyworth at a tight train there. They're trying to stay in line to reel in those leaders ahead of them. They're almost out of the draft. Right now, Bennyworth is racing Molina. They need to stay together.
Oh, we have someone hit the attenuator.
Oh, Hugo Gallas. Caution on the racetrack. Oh, and he collected Dan Inch as well. We'll check this out. Gallas, he is racing right here in this shot. This is Seb Kinder. Oh, no. A little bit of maybe net code. Or Seb kind of forces him up into the gray. He might have actually net coded on Lovern, but definitely did not net code on Inch. And Inch spinning in the pit road as well. Day done already for both these guys, unfortunately. Wow. And Inch had a really good, he was doing well in practice and actually started pretty well in the DW12 race. He started 4th there. But a kind of a ho-hum weekend for Inch, and he's done, and so is Gallas. We don't see Gallas crash out very often, so he must have got surprised with the move Kinder had on the inside, and we are back under caution here at lap 12. Now, Do we have enough of a run under our belt to get rid of that half of a pit stop? And we're pretty close.
Yep, I would say pretty close if you stayed out both times. If you came in the first time, you're definitely safe.
Then does it turn into a fuel mileage race at this point, or is everyone just now full push to the end?
I think it's still a bit too early to tell.
If you're enjoying Velocity Online Racing's coverage of the VOR IndyCar Series, we expect the stream. Please do us a solid and make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future VOR iRacing broadcasts. Pump fake coming to pit road for a lot of drivers. I'm not going to come down this time. There will be somebody for sure. Liam O'Sullivan, I believe, is making that turn down pit road one more time. And right with him, Orman again. Lovern, Holland coming down again, and Joseph Morales coming down pit road one more time to top off. I don't think we're going to change any tires, though, with the tire limits. Might need to keep those tires close to the vest for the stops later. Lights out on the pace car. We're going to go green next time by for lap 14. Of course, you see him going through turn 2 here. That's otherwise known as the tunnel turn, modeled after Indianapolis. This track was actually purpose-built, and you wouldn't know it, the fact that IndyCar does not race here anymore, and that pretty much what you see racing here anymore are NASCAR series. But this track was purpose-built for IndyCar. Back in the late 60s, early 70s, it opened up, became part of the IndyCar Triple Crown. Each one of the turns was modeled after each one a different track on the IndyCar schedule. Turn 1, Trenton, which is a just think of Phoenix, but with a dog leg in the opposite direction. That was kind of Trenton right there. Then turn 2, Indianapolis. Turn 3, Milwaukee. And they decided to stop there. No turn 4. Green flag in the air. Strauss is your leader. Back underway here at lap 14. Christensen to the inside of Edson Santos, trying to get the position. Santos was one of those drivers in the DW12 series that was taken out by coming to pit road under green, and the brakes just caught at the wrong time for him. Pennyworth experimenting with the high line in turn 3. Orman to the inside of Evans. Evans got an 8 of the draft from Coker. Is that going to be able to get the 8 of the position? No. comes Orman now on Coker. Into 2. Coker stays high. Allows Orman on by. Move Orman now up to 12th. Lovern on the outside of Kinder. Evans going to go to the inside of Coker. Now we have Lovern and Coker together there. Coker way up high in the corner. That's going to allow Seb to get a run on him. Liam around Molina. That is for 9th. Although Molina swaps over. He switches over, goes to the bottom, tries to get the position back. Does not have the momentum to do that. Going to cost the momentum now as Bonder looks to the inside going into 2. Oh, wow, that was close. Three wide. Orman to the bottom. He's going to do a slide job on Bonder. Oh, Bonder in the wall. And that was a big hit. Let's check this out. Going 3 wide. He hears it in his ear. 3 wide, you're on the outside, which you don't want to hear anyways. There's Jesper. Just starts coming up on him, and wow, netcode, his car's a transformer, snap back into place. So let's see if he has any damage. Meanwhile, back up front, you have Strauss and Wagner. And then there's Julian to the inside of Santos. Edson. Oh, contact in the wall with Julian. And I think that's terminal. Let's watch from Edson's point of view. And we are caution on the racetrack. Caution.
Yeah, I think the car looked fine after the first hit. Just the hit against the pit wall just made it terminal.
And then look right in front of Julian here. So he's got 2 cars, and they're both giving off very dirty air. And so he's got the aero wash. He's turning, trying to turn, but all the while the car is going that way. And then he has Santos on the outside, and that is a recipe that, well, unfortunately, does not result in a good tasting outcome. And we are cautioned now with Santos into the wall, and that might be day done for the Brazilian. As we'll take a look at his car on pit road. And he is out of it, so I believe that is a terminal hit for Santos, and possibly for Julian as well. Julian is now 4th. He was 3rd, gave up 3rd to Millward. Millward now, told you, he was going to have himself a pretty decent day. He's already up 7 spots to P3. Looks like Santos is back in the car, so might be able to try some laps here, see what happens. So back under caution again, our 3rd caution. So we're really unable to get a good string of racing laps together. The top 7 have not stopped. Uh, Liam and Jesper have both made it up into the top 10. They stopped at lap 13 under a previous caution. They are ahead of Bonder, Molina, and Evans, who probably will stop this time. Bonder might have damage that he wants to get looked at. Coming to pit road again one more time will be O'Sullivan and Orman. Also coming to pit road, looks like we're going to have a Silvazzi. Christensen now coming to pit road for the first time. Everybody but Aiden Millward and Ben Bennyworth. So those guys are going to be on the B strategy, or I guess, do we call that the B strategy now since everyone else is kind of synced up now? Call that the prime strategy? Bennyworth is having himself a good race. He's up 17 spots. Wagner comes out of pit road first. Julian is still fourth, so apparently the damage is not that bad. Orman now fifth, Christensen sixth, Silvazzi seventh, Liam O'Sullivan eighth, Bonder is ninth. Looks like Bonder only in the box for 8.2 seconds, so apparently damage was not that critical on his car. Molina is now 10th. And lights are already out on the pace car, so we are getting ready to go green on this very quick caution as the field is now caught up with one another. So for the first time, Aiden Millward, the YouTuber, he is going to bring the field up to speed here. He is not up against the wall at all. He's like, my right side is open, come take me. And you know what? If Bennyworth knew, I know Wagner knows. But Bennyworth not close enough. We are green. If Wagner knew, Wagner would be lined up on that right side. Wagner does know. If he could if he could be up there, he would have. So Aiden exposes the right side at the restart, but survives the restart. Now here comes Bennyworth with a big run off of one down the Long Pond Straight and into two. And he gets the position. Wags to the inside and three. Oh, contact. Bennyworth sideways. It is a wall. Julian. Oh, catches him. And Christensen might have been involved. And oh, what a hit Julian hit. So let's watch this again. Here comes Wagner. Each one has a bit of a different entry into three. Wags again, dirty air from Benny. And they both make contact. But watch this hit by Julian. Oh.
That off the car.
Yeah. That and oh, I think he took out Jesper. Jesper is involved.
Yeah, Jesper had nowhere to go.
I tell you what, Julian, if that was a real hit, cockpit first up against the fence, I don't even want to begin to think.
Yeah, we'd be real grateful we have the arrow screen.
I don't even know if that would have been enough for the arrow screen to protect the driver, but we'll see. Just perfect. Oh, God.
Yeah, I'd be more worried about the virtual fans behind that fence.
Yeah. And then Jesper just right there. Oof. Jesper nowhere to go. Committed to the inside. Just ran out of room. Oof. And he is done. He's on pit road. So, wow, this race now has a whole new outlook. And, Ryan, we can't really even get going here before we have another caution, which is, this is not like Pocono races. And I guess on yesterday's broadcast, we had Brian Campbell, who was the driver expert on the broadcast, and he did say that sometimes these races here at Pocono are you either have long green runs or you have these little sprints separated by caution after caution because people aren't able to keep the car off one another, especially in turn 3. And I was like, I haven't seen one of those races in a while. I think most people are kind of getting used to Pocono being wide open and a pretty good track where you can pick your own line if the lines in front of you got dirty air that you can negotiate. And today it doesn't seem to be that way at all. And just about every one of the key players is out of today's race. I think Julian still is getting repaired on pit road. Jesper's on pit road. Millward's probably out. Santos is out. Now this looks like it's an excellent opportunity for somebody in the VOR series here who has not received a win yet to get their very first win, or in the case of those that have gotten the win, a chance to maximize on getting some points in the championship as we reach the last quarter of this campaign.
Yeah, where a lot of the contenders are out. This is your opportunity to make up a points gap.
I mean, there you see the points right there. Altena out, Orman out. O'Sullivan still in the lineup. Currently, he is 5th, and he's looking to capitalize the most. Murphy not in the lineup. Craig on World Tour. Strauss, he's looking to capitalize. Silvazzi can capitalize. Alexander not in the lineup. Ike not in the lineup. Lovern, he could probably capitalize here. Get around Ike. Seb Kinder. Christensen was involved. Not sure how bad his car is. Evans, he can capitalize. He's still in. Benny Worth, right now your leader. He's 22nd in points. He could definitely use the points right now. So we're getting ready to go green, and it's Bennyworth, Wagner, Christensen. He was involved. I'm not sure how damaged he is, but he is 3rd. Silvazzi, Liam O'Sullivan, Bonder. Bonder's been in the wall once already today, but he seems to be okay. Molina 7th, Kinder 8th, Holland 9th. Not bad from having to start on pit road for Spider-Man Tom Holland. And Gary Lovern, who is sponsoring today's race. Lovern Inc. is, and we'll talk about Lovern Inc. here in a little bit. Lovern is 10th, Strouth 11th, Coker 12th, Morales 13th, Jordan Evans 14th. Only 14 cars still running as we still have a long way to go in this race. Wagner on the restart, right with Bennyworth. Going to go to the outside in the 1. Look at the solo Sullivan. He wants to go 3 wide badly, but he's like, nah, not in 2. Not in 2. He wanted to. Everybody cleanly through 3. So a third of this field already done. Seb Kinder looking at the inside of Bonder. Trying to go 2 for 1 into the tunnel turn. He'll get Bonder. No, Bonder keeps the momentum on the high side there. Kinder's going to have to get back in line and reset. Today's Pocono. Oh, there's an aggressive move back there. Sorry for Strauss, who made the pit stop. He's on Lovern. He's trying to work his way back up through the field. But today's Pocono 350, Lovern's Inc. 350 is brought to you by Lovern's Incorporated. Lovern's provides professional services in renovation, remodeling, painting, and mold removal for government, commercial, and residential projects. For a quote to learn more, like them on Facebook or visit their website at lovernsinc.com today. Link is in the description. Thank them for sponsoring our weekend here at Pocono, and when VOR, the entire series, has come to visit. There we see Coker thinking twice about the inside of Evans going into 2. Now Evans to the inside of Morales going to 3. He will take that spot. Wags is your leader. Bennyworth second. O'Sullivan now up to 3rd as he gets the pass on Salvazzi going into 1. Christensen 5th. Molina 6th. He's up 3 spots. Salvazzi up 10. Bennyworth up 17. Bonder up 13. So we're going to see some drivers today probably get there, or possibly, let's say that right now. Still a long race to go, and we've seen crazier things happen in VOR races. Trust me. I think I won one of those races. But we might see some people get their best career finishes in the series today. Bennyworth to the inside of Wagner in 1, getting the position back. Slides up in front of him. The Wag's going to have a big run down the Long Pond stretch going into 2. Wagner to the inside. He'll get that position back. Of course, that is the spot where Wickens had his big wreck. They had 2 big wrecks like 2 years in a row right in that same corner. The first one was definitely 100% Sato's fault. Sato went full send on that corner. Here's Bennyworth down the short chute. Oh, actually, we are in the Long Pond Straight, sorry. Coming back to 2. Now we're in the short chute to 3. O'Sullivan's reeling them in. Liam looking to get, I guess there's not a triple crown per se here in the this season in the VOR IndyCar Championship, but I guess this would be effectively the second race in the triple crown if you include, do we have, nope, we don't have a Michigan, so I guess we got only 2 crowns, so there are 2 jewels in the triple crown. And Liam won the 500 back in September. So he would actually be the closest person to be able to win two crowns, or 2 crown jewels, let's put it that way, of the season here at Pocono and Indianapolis. So he is trying to get that second jewel this season. He is now third. Next race is November 2nd at Kentucky. Then November 16th at Phoenix. Then we'll wrap up the season December 7th and December 14th at Sonoma and Las Vegas. And who's just going off to the inside? That's Bennyworth's scheduled stop. So he went 36 laps on his entire run. About what we expected. Oh, he did not hit pit road well. In fact, if he had real crew members there, he would have pinned him up against the wall. And now he's trying to find the spot so he can go up on the jacks. Crew members can change those tires, but that cost him critically on pit road. He's down and away. He might stay on the lead lap, but that's going to cost him critical seconds. No, he's not going to stay on the lead lap. Here comes Wagner.
Yep, here come the leaders.
And there he goes, a lap down. I know, kind of a bit of maybe a rookie mistake coming to pit road in these cars. It is easy to do, miss your marks. But he was the only car on pit road, so all he had to do was really just focus on himself. Just a reminder of the winners this season. Jesper Orman won the first two races of the season at Homestead and Texas. Julian won the first road course at Road America. Jesper then won the fourth race of the season at Iowa. Matthias Strauss got his first career win at Gateway for round 5. Patrick Savazzi getting his road course victory on the Indy road course back in round 6. Liam O'Sullivan, of course, did win the 500. He is our leader right now. Jesper won his fourth race of the season at Nashville, backing up Indy. And then after Indy, Seb Alexander, Jesper's teammate, won his first career VOR race at Laguna Seca back in October, or early October. Sorry, we're still in October. So now a bit of a different strategy going on for Bennyworth, as he's really on an entirely different strategy than everyone else at the moment. Since he stayed out in the last 2 cautions, he had to come under green. Now he's a lap down. But when Sullivan and also Wagner and Salvazzi come to pit, he will get their lap back. He needs to really hope there's not a caution in the meantime. That will trap him a lap down more than likely. Unless he stays out and gets the wave around.
Yeah, it's simply, I would simply just try to hold on for the wave around.
Aiden says he gets a point for leading a lap at least. Julian says the most fun he's ever had for 21 laps. Here comes Strauss challenging Lovern for 6. As the field's starting to get really strung out. 41 of 140. We got 100 miles in the books now. I could say when I raced here and when I wrecked out early, Julian, it was the most most fun one turn I ever had. Because turn 2 was not fun. This is a fun track to race at, though. I had a lot of decent finishes here. Whether it be the handful of official races I've done, I've had a decent finish here. In the VARC series, that I don't think they run IR18s anymore. I had a really fun race here. I got the drop on like 8 cars because they left the outside open, and I passed like 8 cars coming to the green flag one time. That was fun there in that season, in that series. You raced in VOR, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
That's where I met you, I think.
You were correct. That was the series where we first started racing against each other.
Watching a battle for 7th between Strauss and Christensen, as the leaders kind of have just stayed in line. So I think we are now looking at that long green flag run where we're just going to try to work on that fuel mileage now. Strauss trying to take a peek around Lovern that time. Not going to be able to clear him. Now, this time he pops out. He's going to take a look in the 1. Here comes Strauss. Lovern's going to have a big run on the high side. That's exactly what happened mid-corner. It's going to go, come side by side. They're going to race side by side down the Long Pond Straight in the 2. Lovern's not going to give Strauss a lot of room. And there you see, yeah, still side by side off of 2. And this is where the high side, especially after these tires get well worn, the high side of this track is very powerful. You can actually hold off someone faster than you on the bottom when they're on the bottom for a number of laps. All you have to do is stay on the high side and keep the momentum up. I was in a race here one time in the, I think it was called the American Open Wheel Racing Series, but I think it was just a kind of a ooh, here we go, continuation of the TI Racing Series, and they allowed it so you could race the ovals only if you wanted to, and that's kind of my forte. And I raced the race here, and the leader of the series came up on me and wanted to pass me, and I'm like, okay, well, if you could pass me, go right ahead. And we did about 8 laps of this right here. That we're watching between Lovern and Strauss. Now, I hung on a little bit longer than Lovern did there, but I really, really pissed off the league leader, the points leader. He thought that I should have moved over and allowed him on by because he was a series regular and I wasn't. I'm like, if you pass me, man, I want to let you pass me, but you could have never, you never pulled out, you could never pull the pass off on the bottom. Here's Strauss doing the snake down the front stretch, trying to break the draft of Lovern. Also behind, also doing that as well as Molina. Your thoughts here when you race of when people do the snake down the front stretch. Is it effective enough or are you just scrubbing off speed? Oh, sorry, we got a caution inside. Ooh. As Molina comes around, gets loose off of 1, and we're caution. And everyone's going to come to pit road one more time. We're caution at lap 48. Max Molina getting loose in the middle of turn 1. That just might be a little too much. I mean, nothing in front of him. So no air wash. I think maybe just a little bit of too much weight jacker there.
Yeah, it looked like too much jacker, and for the most part, doesn't seem like too much damage on his car, just a broken front wing.
Here we see him. We'll ride with him going in the 1. He was having blinking issues, but it had nothing to do with him getting loose. And then just in the middle of 1, the back end comes around. Here are the weather conditions, too. I don't know if he caught oh, maybe he caught the apron. He catch the apron, and then he had to drive. No, he's right up on the yellow line, so I don't think he caught the apron. But he starts coming up in the middle of the corner. It just comes right around on him. Normally, that is a sign of too much weight jacker. And so O'Sullivan, during that exchange, is now the leader over Wagner. Maybe we can check that out. This is the battle for the lead here. So we see Wagner. They've been battling very together for at least a couple laps by that point. So we see Wagner now getting the position, and O'Sullivan out top. As everyone's coming to pit road again. Yeah, this is where I think O'Sullivan caught him. This is on lap 37 here. And that's where they did a lot of racing each other side by side. Again, we were talking about the high line. As we were watching a little bit further on back, there's Lovern and Strauss. Go back to live television at the moment, and your leader is Liam O'Sullivan, our Indy 500 winner. Wagner is second, Seb Kinder third. Bonder fourth, Strauss fifth, Salvazzi sixth. Salvazzi cycles back to sixth after the pit stop. And Julian is asking if he should come to the booth. Should Julian come to the booth?
Sure, why not?
Why not? All right, Julian. Coming to green here, Liam O'Sullivan, the leader. Wagner second. A lot of IndyCar starts between those two. Even Seb Kinder, he's a veteran. Strauss now worked his way up to fifth. Now Bonder, he has a lot of starts in open wheel, but he's a lot like me. He's got a lot. He probably has more broadcasts called than IndyCar starts. He's a broadcaster. There we watch Bonder and Strauss into two. And here comes Salvazzi, the inside of Strauss. Very aggressively cuts across his nose. Lovern now seventh. Here's Wagner to the inside of O'Sullivan, bringing Kinder right along. Sullivan defends to the inside, but slides up going through the corner, opening the bottom for Wagner, coming to 3. 52 of 140. And Wagner, he's not clear, but he's going to be the leader. $14 cars on the lead lap. Now, Bennyworth is in another position kind of where he was before. He's back on the lead lap because he got the wave around. He's not 16 laps on this stint. So he needs to hope for another caution very quickly. I should say very quickly, sometime in the next 15 laps or so. And that puts him back on everyone's same schedule. Wags now leader by 3 over O'Sullivan. And in the booth, there's Julian. He's muted right now. Now he's not muted.
Hello.
Best 21 laps, huh?
Yeah, it was a longer walk for me than a race to be up here. was fun while it lasted, though. I thought the racing was pretty good when it was overcast. Now, not so much anymore. But...
Yeah, it seems like the conditions are making the track a bit greasier. It's harder to really close up on people.
Yeah, it did pull off a degree in the last 5 minutes or so in Celsius at least, so probably 2 degrees Fahrenheit. But yeah, it is about 8 degrees hotter than it was in practice, so it's quite a bit.
There are the conditions on the screen here. 78 degrees ambient. 111 is the track temperature. Wind is from the west at 9. As the field is starting to get strung out. There's Bennyworth getting the position on Coker a little bit further back, coming off of 1. These guys need to get in a nice long green flag run. We're not even to the halfway point yet.
It helps if a third of the field is eliminated.
Yeah, the more it gets eliminated, the more that we're going to see green flag racing, I think. Wags, O'Sullivan, Kinder, Bonder, and Salvazzi now your top 5. Everyone just kind of in line, being very patient, although Kinder looking at the bottom of the racetrack underneath O'Sullivan. Not a lot of momentum there, not with the tires at this point. You're about the first 5 laps or so. These tires tend to favor the high side, as we talked about earlier. Bonder and Salvazzi down the front straight, doing a little bit of jucking and shiving, trying to do a little defense there. Strauss now 6. He's going to catch this group.
Bennyworth on the outside of Holland as well, turn 1.
He's going to go to the inside of the 2. Bennyworth worked his way to the lead before. He's going to try to do it again, but he's going to have to stop sooner than everyone else. On a bit of a second strategy right now. Oh! As Holland is flashing on the outside of him, and that makes things very difficult.
Didn't take long for Bennyworth to say something about it.
It's like, now you see him, now you don't. Now you hear him, now you don't. There you go, Bennyworth to the inside. He's able to pull alongside into 2. Okay, Holland blinks out that time and concedes into, giving the position to Bennyworth, move him up to 12th. Kinder and O'Sullivan battling through 3.
John and Jordan as well, side by side, going into turn 1.
The high side's going to come back in there for Evans, though. Now, if Lovern could lend more of a draft to his kind of corporate teammate there, that would have helped him. Christensen. Now Christensen again to the inside. Not quite. Oh! And I think Evans might have tapped the wall a little bit, thinking that he needed to give a little extra room to Christensen.
It was giving shades of me and Edson earlier in the race. By the way, I was completely off the throttle. I don't think we would have hit, but there's nothing you can really do. Once Edson picks his line, you can't really move too far out of it anymore. And the same almost happened here.
Bennyworth now another position on Molina. Oh. Molina in the wall and corner entry in the 3, just trying to make as big as arc as possible. Here's Bennyworth again, getting a run down the front straight. Molina doing a bit of a little of a weave to kind of keep Bennyworth second guessing. Bennyworth to the inside. Not cleared him yet. Not cleared. Oh, a little bit of a hesitation there by Molina. Evans and Christensen side by side going into 2 down the long pond straight.
Playing fire.
They're looking at bringing out another caution. I don't know when it's coming out, but they're looking at trying to.
Going back to Molina hitting the wall on the entry, I noticed that he's been driving really aggressively today. And that's been earlier in turn 1 also as proof of that. I think he's just overdriving a little bit with the track temperatures.
Pennyworth taking a shot again to the inside, going into 2. Molina might get the aero wash from Jomo, and yeah, that's kind of what happened there. Now Molina is clear, and he's going to try to make the run on Jomo. Meanwhile, back up front, Wagner is your leader by now a half a second. Kinder and O'Sullivan are just kind of tucked in behind one another right now. I'm guessing we're working on fuel mileage now, and it's probably a good thing that they need to get this run probably under their belt. Kind of see where things are going to line up for the end here.
Yeah, it should be a pretty straightforward 2-stop to the end from here. Lap 80 and then 110 to go to the end. You can make 30 laps pretty easily here going flat out, so you don't even need to save fuel to go to the end.
There you go. No fuel mileage. Push, push, push. Bonder up the 4th. Strauss now 5th. Bonder might have, got very close to the wall.
Jordan got in front of John, by the way, in turn 1.
That battle's not over, and it's been joined by Bennyworth, and we know Bennyworth's been fast. Molina's going to be there real quick, too, so that's going to be a pretty aggressive beehive coming up soon when all 4 of those guys get together.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm impressed by Bonder. He's not been the furthest up the field so far this season, but keeping his car on the track is clearly a difficult thing to do today, so he's doing a good job at it and being in P4. It's good to see.
Yeah, sometimes the best way to improve is simply being there for all the laps.
Drive to survive. The Gary Gods trap.
Hey, man.
John on the inside.
It works.
Of, Evans. It does work.
Evans and Christensen. Bennyworth's going to try to follow him through. And he does. And then he fades very slowly up in front of Christensen. He has to roll out of it a little bit so he doesn't smack the wall for the aero wash. And he's going to have to reset. So now Bennyworth now thinking about, he was going to, he didn't have the run to get to the inside of Evans there in 2, but he's definitely showing Evans his nose. Evans going to stay up high and kind of give the dirty air to Bennyworth there. Now Christensen attacking down the bottom side, coming off a 3. No momentum down there, but he gains a lot of track position. He's going to get back into the draft. Evans now pulling away a little bit by 0.2 down the front straight. And Bennyworth, he's going to power slide to the corner. Oh. He's going to spin out off a 2. He's not going to touch anything, but he's going to bring out the caution. Wow.
And that's going to really mean some trouble on the race distance because we have time limit with the 2 hours. So we only have 54 minutes left with however many. Yeah, 73 laps to go. It might be a tight fit if we can even get it in.
Yeah, we're going to have to go green the entire way.
Let's watch this. He goes to the inside of Evans. Comes into 2. Again, maybe too much weight jacker, which the way it just kind of very lightly the back end comes around. Again, a lot of room on corner exit here because of the paved portion to the inside. And he does not touch a thing, but he is going to have to come to pit road and slap on a new set of tires. That is going to help him, actually, guys, because he was on that alternate strategy, and he was due to come to pit road anyways here very soon.
Yeah, sometimes you fall into success.
He was on lap 31 of his run. He went 36 last time, so he would have had to come to pit road very, very shortly. So I think the leaders are going to have to come down pit road anyways. I don't think they want to, but they're going to come down pit road anyways. And there they come. I think the entire field's going to come down pit road now. Yep, everybody. Full service.
Yeah, because if we have to start thinking about the clock, then you end up in a scenario where you want to be out in front for as long as possible. So you're just running the tank until it's dry every time.
What do you have for time remaining?
53 minutes. 52 minutes.
52 minutes. Okay, I got 50 minutes and 25 seconds counting down right now on the screen. I'm not sure where that is, but we'll pay attention.
Maybe my number is off. Let me look. I can just jump in the car. Yeah, 55 minutes and 50 seconds.
55 minutes? Okay, I'm not sure why the timer's counting down at 50 at this point. Unless it's going to reset itself. We'll see when they cross the start-finish line. It might actually reset itself. We'll see.
Oh, I think I know why, Gary. The overlay predicts how much time it will take for the laps to be completed under green.
Ah.
So the laps that we have remaining under green will take 50 minutes and 6 seconds, which I'm seeing.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so we're still marginal to actually make race distance.
Yes, we're about 5 minutes to the good at the moment, but it really shouldn't be delayed that much more. But one to green this time.
We've had, was it here before? We've had timed races before? I forget. Was it in the Christmas Cup?
Christmas Cup, it must have been, yeah. The race with the setup so bad that the racing was great. Gary remembers it.
I remember that race. I know we've had in the history of VOR, there's been a handful of timed races. I can't remember them all. Mainly in the earlier years when the skill of the drivers was not as good as it is now. But today, being the exception to the rule, green flag back underway. And we are at the halfway point. Wagner gets a good lead and good jump on everybody. Bennyworth now on the outside of Holland again. Bennyworth back on the same strategy as everybody else.
Wagner and Liam side by side, turn 3.
Wagner has the momentum on the high side. Something you talked about in yesterday's race where you said it's the turn 3, if you run the middle to high and anyone's below you, you're going to always get the run off the corner better. Just showed it there.
It's also very important in playing with dirty air with the cars behind, like you saw in the race multiple times, even with myself. As soon as there's a car in front of you, because turn 3 is so flat, it becomes really hard to control the car. It's basically like a boat, as Liam to the inside here goes to the inside. But it really becomes like a boat, so it becomes super hard to turn the car. You can even lift off completely, but it's just gonna go straight on. It doesn't matter if you lift half or completely; it will just go straight. So all the outside car can really do is try to open up the steering a little bit, but like I mentioned earlier with Edson and I in that incident, it's really hard for the outside car to judge how much to open the steering, because you're not focused in the mirror, you're trying to drive forward. So yeah, you can only do so much in that situation. So that's something very important to keep an eye on for the rest of the race. Especially with the track being this hot, it's going to become more and more of a factor of how to play with the dirty air. So if you're somebody like Wagner, you're going to try to aero block Liam as much as possible. But yeah, turn 3 especially here is really wide, so just have to look and do it.
And here is O'Sullivan to the inside in the 1. He wants to clear him badly. He is cleared. I think he was being very nice there.
Bennyworth and Coke at turn 1.
And Bennyworth down underneath Coker and Evans. He might actually stay there and race him into 2.
Yeah, 2 for 1.
O'Sullivan around Wagner, and that time now O'Sullivan is actually actively defending his line now down the long pond straight to the inside, trying to break the draft. I don't know if that's a sign of normally you don't see that at the midway point a lot of these races, but maybe these drivers are beginning to notice that this could be a timed race.
Yeah, and a little less important, Jomo got around Tom Holland in turn 1 a lap ago. 4P13.
Holland was flashing a lot back there, so that's making things difficult for the drivers in the back. Probably good of him just to fall to the back there. And if the attrition of this race keeps up, only a couple more cars out, and he's looking at a top 10 if he just brings it home.
Yeah, there might be some consequences post-race, though, because this is not the first or second time this has happened.
Okay. Here is now a battle going to start brewing here between Christensen, Max Molina, and Bennyworth. And I'm going to say, out of the 3 drivers, I think I know Christensen is a little bit more level-headed than the other 2. I think Max and Benny have been pretty aggressive today. But both of them have been having to go to the front, to the back, to the front, back to the back, to the front again, because of individual single spins that didn't touch anything. But they cannot say that either one of these 2 guys have not had pace today. They have had a lot of pace. Just not a lot of patience. Back up front, there is the snake again. Bennyworth stays in line and chooses not the snake. Actually comes to the outside, gets the outside of Molina, and he's going to have a big run on the high side. He's going to clear Molina. And now he's got a big run on Christensen. He's going to take a look to the inside and might clear Christensen before he gets to 2, and he does. And move Bennyworth up to 8th now. Back again, showing him 11 spots improved, but the biggest improver, and has been almost virtually unmentioned as he worked his way up to 3rd now, is Bonder, as he is now 17 spots improved in this race. And he is just hanging on to the tail end of the draft here of the leaders.
Yeah, Gary, if you can get a replay from that move from Bonder, because they were 3 wide going into turn 1.
All right, let's see if we can find.
That was a pretty interesting move there. A bit too close for comfort, I would say.
Oh, Kinder hit the wall. But here comes Bonder. And then Strauss. Yeah, okay. That's what happened. That's the pass, okay. Just a little bit of momentum loss, and it costs you a position here. And now Bonder has caught Wags.
Yeah, I think Wagner ate through his tires quite a bit. The track temp is cooling down still, though. It's cooled off another degree Celsius here, so probably about 110 Fahrenheit right now.
Yep, 110.
Yeah, I guess right. Lovern to the outside of Patrick. Lovern is one of the drivers who needs to watch his penalty points, by the way, for the season, along with a number of other drivers, so they need to tone the aggression down a little bit for the final few races of the year.
Well, if you reach too many, you get the old race suspension. There are 2 drivers serving a race suspension today.
Yes, Carol Stout and Cam Bastain, unfortunately. 2 pretty good guys. But yeah, the threshold is 5 for a Q ban, 10 for a race ban, and then 15 for the next step. So if you get to 5, 10 or more, then there will be penalties, regardless of how you got there.
O'Sullivan now pulling out to a 9/10 of a second lead. The biggest lead we've seen all day from any individual leader. Bonder is with Wagner. I think O'Sullivan might be a little bit motivated after yesterday's finish to do well here today. Seems to be on that road right now. Still a long ways to go. We're not that far past halfway. We're only 10 laps past halfway. 12 laps, actually, but...
Yeah, and the pit window is open now as well, so you might see the first stoppers pretty soon. Especially those in the back, because we had a yellow not that long ago as well.
Yeah. Bennyworth has gotten around Lovern now. He's pulled away from the Christensen-Molina battle. And now is catching Salvazzi. Salvazzi to the inside of Strauss, not being able to pull that up, tucks back in. But if they race too much, going to open the door up for Bennyworth to get back involved here.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about Pocono, where you have to show discretion, because if you're too aggressive, you'll let too many people back up to your rear to potentially pass you.
Bennyworth coming to pit road. So there you said that you talked about the window being open. Who might come down pit road first? Maybe he was listening.
I wouldn't listen to the guy who's out of the race, to be honest.
Well, let's see if Bennyworth can hit his marks this time. Last time, coming down pit road by himself, I think when he was among the leaders, well, if there were real pit crew members there, he would have injured them severely. Long stop for Bennyworth, speeding on pit road.
Coker also having a look around Molina on the front straight.
So I think Bennyworth's shot to try to get back up to the front again is done as he sped on pit road. So he is serving a 40-second hold. Now Coker way up in the gray. About ready to jump off into the woods there in the Turn 1 wilderness.
A team battle for P7 with Lovern and Christensen as well. I hope they don't take each other out.
Oh, geez.
What is rule 1 of racing your teammate, Julian?
Oh, I wouldn't know.
That's don't wreck your teammate. You know.
I don't play by those rules.
You know rule 2. What's rule 2 of racing your teammate?
Rule number 1.
See, rule number 1. There you go. Yeah. Oh, Lovern way up in the gray there on the exit of corner 1 there. And gets a little squirrely, but keeps it off the wall. Christensen not close enough to capitalize.
You remember the blue war with Oscar Fredrickson and I at Charlotte Rover, right, Gary?
Yeah.
Still don't think that was my fault, by the way, for the record.
You guys didn't talk to each other for a couple of days.
It was actually you who had to separate us a little bit. Oscar's doing good though in other leagues. Like he races in the Swedish Indy Series now on Racebot. It's pretty good league, pretty stiff competition, and he runs in the top 10 there pretty much every week. So
oh, it's an Indy Series?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
They do NASCAR and IndyCar now as well.
I don't care about NASCAR. Yeah. All
no,
right.
I don't. That's what he does now. Oh, Kinder and Wagner, two indirect teammates. He's gonna let him by if he wants it. He just said. There it is.
Yeah, Wagner in the Marlboro throwback there.
That's Kinder.
Kinder, yep. Wagner in the P1 sponsorship car said it's modeled after Wickens. But I thought Wickens' car had more chrome, red chrome in it, but I could be wrong. Might have been a special livery only, Indy only livery too.
I think Matt just forgot to load the spec map, to be honest. Happens to the best of us.
Snake down the front stretch. Everyone's following suit.
Yeah, this trend will make it before the end of the race. We have about 37 minutes left on the clock in the sim for 50 laps of racing. Yeah. If it goes green, we can make that pretty comfortably, I think.
If we go green. If we go
green, yes.
I'm trying to check some. I don't want that to happen on that screen. I'm trying to check some temperatures, make sure, see how the new video card's doing. Sorry.
It's overheating. It's blowing up.
It better not be.
You know, Gary, I was 1 year ago. I found out that you actually have to replace the temperature on your CPU every once in a while.
Oh dear.
It overheated to like 140 degrees Celsius, which is like close to 200 Fahrenheit. So yeah, it was needed.
So yeah, regular maintenance on your CPU. And you should also probably do this on your GPU as well. And we're kind of in the dog days of the race where we can talk about other subjects real quick. Is you take your cooling fan off your GPU or your CPU, and you check and see how wet that gray paste is still there, that thermal paste. And if it's bone dry, just take some. Let's go back and watch Christensen and Molina as they are aggressively fighting each other down the long pond straight. Oh, contact! Contact again, and there it is, into the wall. And now we're under caution. And that was a lot of aggressive moves for Molina. I'm not quite sure why we were getting so aggressive there. He wanted to come up the racetrack. Christensen wasn't going to let him. He comes up anyways. Christensen had to make some evasive action, and unfortunately, it was a bit of a really quick move, overcorrected back into Molina, and then the contact happened right there. It might have been in Molina's best interest just to back out of it, get back in the draft, and attempt that pass again, but he did not want to stay on that low side of the racetrack. Again, I always say discretion's a better part of valor in some cases, but today they were just going to fight it out.
Yeah, because if you get trapped at an angle that's too sharp to make turn two, you can't just shoulder check your way back up the track to get a good line.
Yeah.
But he was ahead. His corner.
Oh, it doesn't quite work like that in IndyCar.
This is F1, right? Every open wheel race car is Formula One.
So yeah, I was getting ready to say, as we're getting the pit road, check your thermal paste. And if it's too dry, you can actually, that's easy to buy. Just buy it off of YouTube. Comes with a little spreader. Just reapply it, and that will help your thermal levels of your CPU, make it last a little bit longer. But you're right, if you don't, and that basically turns to dust, that will turn your motherboard and your CPU into ash.
Yeah, and another friendly recommendation by me. Don't look at your thermal paste 15 minutes before you have a race at 10 o'clock or something, when the stores are already closed. Make sure to do it about a few hours before you have the race, before the stores close, so you have the time to buy new toothpaste. Thermal paste, not toothpaste.
Toothpaste might work, actually. I'm not quite sure.
You should try that at work. You should try that at work at Gary.
If back in my desktop support days, I might actually would have tried a little bit of toothpaste, this thermal paste, before. I would never think about putting toothpaste in a server, though. That's too expensive.
I would do it if it wasn't my server.
Now you can also, but you got to be careful. See, you also need to do the same type of maintenance to your GPU. And now that involves a lot of tiny screws and a lot of patience and maybe some hidden fan ribbon cables and everything. So you got to be careful there. But you can do the same thing with your GPU, and that will help your GPU as well. And again, just thermal paste, a little isopropyl rubbing alcohol will take off the old application that's dried out. Basically, you just put a little bit of thermal paste down, put back on the cooler, screw it together, and you're good. But yes, do not do it 10 minutes before your next IndyCar race on iRacing. Think of this more along the lines of what the crew members would be doing in the garage to these engines. You don't see them working on the engines coming out onto the grid. Sometimes you do, but not all the time. So think about it that way. Matthias Strauss stays out. Big gamble for Strauss, who finished on the podium in the DW12 race. Not quite sure exactly how this strategy is going to pay out, but he is going to come to green, and he's going to protect the inside as we are green flag on a bit of a different style restart here at lap 94.
Yeah, the rules are simple. You have to accelerate to the car directly in front, so you can't pass before the line. So you might as well start any way you want. But yeah, Matthias gets a good jump.
Again, he's hoping again for another caution, but when there's only 12 cars running left, I don't know if we're going to have another caution. We'll see. I've said it before. We've seen stranger things happen, and we are kind of getting close to the Halloween time.
It's almost the anniversary of the Gateway race in season 2.
the Gateway miracle. Wagner and Kinder back there, teammates. They're going to have to work together now because the leaders are starting to pull away. Oh, somebody hit the wall.
If I was Kinder, I would race Wagner as hard as possible because he is one of the threats for the win. And Matthias is currently leading on a different strategy, so he needs all the help he can get.
And we got Team Watson cars in first, third, and fourth.
They're not actually officially on the same team, though, Gary. Wagner officially is an independent driver.
Right.
He is on chat with Matthias, though.
Then they're teammates.
they're Discord besties.
They're colluding.
Collusion! All I see are lies and collusion.
Liam to the front, though.
Yeah, we got Liam back to the front there, and he didn't really need to do that, but you're right. If Seb starts pushing behind him, it's behoove to Liam to put as much space between himself and Matthias or Strauss. Excuse me, God, not Matthias Strauss, because Strauss is going to have to pit. I'm talking about Seb Kinder, because Kinder is on the same strategy. So it's behoove Liam to put as much space between himself and Kinder.
Yeah, the old tires on Stroud is really showing though, because he's really dropping like a stone at the moment. Lap time wise.
Coker and Jomo back in the Long Pond Straight going into 2. Jomo is going to hold his line, going to pull up right in front of Coker, give Coker the dirty air, but he'll get the position. Jomo having a good run today. He's up 10 spots to 8th.
Oh, Bonder on Wagner.
No, they're side by side down the front straight. It's clear.
Bonder up
Yeah,
to 4th.
4. Tom Holland on Jordan Evans as well. Tom has the draft, so he's going to.
Yeah, he's going to have the 8 of the draft in front of him to help pull him through on that pass there.
Matthias found the adjustments he needs for the old tires to be able to follow Liam again in traffic. So
yep, he's caught back up. Back to 2/10 now of a lead for O'Sullivan. We expect Strauss on pit road any time now, probably the next 5 laps. So he's kind of hoping for a pocket caution to occur here to help him in his strategy. Everyone stopped. Well, Liam stopped on 93, Strauss on 69, Kender on 93, and Bonder on 93. So that will probably mean, let's do we do the math here. One more stop to get them home. Probably in the lap 120 area, between lap 120 and 130.
So to give an update on the time limit, again, if we run green, we will be 2 minutes to the good. If there's another yellow, we'll probably not finish all the laps. Maybe 1 or 2 laps short, but yeah. If it goes green now, we'll be able to finish, but it will be very tight.
Yeah, because if there's another caution, it just becomes a shootout at that point, because you just go to pit lane, get fuel, and you just run as hard as you can until the clock expires.
I would say that that window for pitting is already open then in that case, because...
Go, yeah.
In 2 laps time it will open. But I think the track position with the track temp is too important, so I think you'll see most of these people stay out, because track temp, even though it is dropping again by 1 degree, it's still too hot to really make any passes in heavy traffic, so you kind of want to stay
Wagner on the inside of Bonder. 100 degrees track temperature you see on your screen right there, side by side down the front stretch across the start-finish line. Bonder's going to have the aid just barely of Kinder, but the run by Wags was strong enough that he gets the position back, move Wags up to 4th, Bonder back to 5th.
Yeah, it's the rare benefit of
here's Strauss
of drivers doing the serpentine so relatively early in the race.
Always, I was never a fan of doing the snake down the front stretch here and here comes Strauss to pit road. Final stoppish, yeah, we'll see. He's going to have to save a lot of fuel if he's going to get home. He might have to actually splash it one more time at the end. We'll see.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of it here because this front straight is just incredibly long. It's also really wide. You have so much real estate. Like you could legitimately put people in a blind spot where they don't know that you're diving, that you're up against the wall.
Yeah, that, and I think I always think that and down and away, final stop for Strauss, he's done. He's going to come out just in front of all the leaders by about a half a straight. And he is not done. He's going to have to save.
Poker to the inside of Silvassi for turn 1 here. should be able to pull it off because Gary is leaving the inside open, so no dirty air for Coker, and he gets in front, has to pick up the draft now.
And then he goes down, Gary goes down and kind of lends the draft to Coker.
It was enough to clear him, though.
Yeah,
so
it was. Or Gary strategically thinks that Salvazi's a bigger threat than Coker, so once again, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I would agree to that. Salvazi, I mean, he's a race winner in this league, and he is fast. What Salvazi's issue typically is he either creates his own issues, which he hasn't done as much lately, or he gets caught up in somebody else's, and that always seems to be what kind of ends the day early for Salvazi. Is he's always seemingly caught up in somebody else's incident. So final stop still yet to be completed by everybody, and that includes Strauss, who just stopped. I don't think Strauss is going to be able to make it without a caution or without a splash and go at the end. O'Sullivan is now your leader by 0.6 over Kinder.
Patrick on Coker again in turn 3. Watch out, dirty air. He takes it into consideration and they're good. So Coker holds on to that position. But that dirty air, what I was explaining earlier in the race, really important still in the race. And even to what you brought up, Gary, the inside line, if you can defend that with holding the middle or the outside line, with the momentum of the corner, if you can force somebody down there, they'll burn up their stuff and get a worse run off the corner as well. So that seemed what Coker was trying to do, and it worked. Seb passed Liam for the lead.
Yeah, he caught him pretty quick too, so I don't know if Liam had a bad corner or Seb just really had a very clean corner and just got the momentum.
This
He's
is
there.
the battle for the pit cycles. They just want track position because by the time they'll pit in the next 3 or 4 laps, they'll want to be in front, so they have the best chances of getting a good pit cycle. It's very easy here to make a mistake by braking too early because the way that this pit entry works, you're pitting in turn 3. So as you're on that inside, as Liam and Wagner are both pitting in this time around, you have to slow. Oh, Liam is staying out. Okay, interesting. So he fakes Seb there, calling out his intent to pit, but where I was going at, slowing down from the inside of the track is very tricky to do because you're not braking in a straight line.
Right.
So it's easy to underdo that or overdo that and make a mistake that way. So getting it right is crucial, and if you're the first car in line, that's just a lot more easy to do, to get it right.
Watching Wags come down to make possibly his final stop here. He should make it. Back on the racetrack, let's check out the leaders. O'Sullivan's now pulled out to a 0.3 of a second lead. And is Liam coming to pit road this time? No. And the pump fake on the call might have been enough for Seb to kind of breathe the accelerator a little bit to give O'Sullivan that needed gap. But you don't want to cry fox or cry wolf too much, or fox for that matter. You know what they say? Don't want to cry. You don't want to scream fire in a crowded theater. After a while, no one's going to listen to you, and well, we'll see this time if who's coming to pit road.
Yeah, Coker did come into the pits the last lap.
Coker did? Okay. He made his final stop.
Oh, he's on the pits for a long time, though. Did he speed?
Yes, he is currently in his stall for 26 seconds, so that is more than likely a 40-second hold.
Oh yeah, he sped like 20 kilometers per hour into the pits. So that's not even.
He was eager to get it over with.
That's what I was saying though. It's really tricky to brake when you're turning the car for the corner still.
Sometimes, I mean, it's you just create your own problems. You could get it under control, and then you just like, I want to wait a little bit more of a fraction of a second because I see that cone coming up and I have time. And you go to hit that brake, and that fraction of a second comes and goes, and you go by the cones, and you're still fast. Yeah, so you gotta watch yourself coming to pit road. Poor Orman on during the ERL Indy 500 sped on pit road once, got himself back on the lead lap, and then coming down for his final stop, sped one more time. And so Jesper's like, that's it, I'm calling it quits.
Yeah, incidents like that or accidents like that are in a really small corner. They're very easy to make, especially when you're running at your maximum level, like you're giving it your all. You're trying to look for every advantage you can get, but like you said, it's really easy to overstep that own limit of yours, and that's just what happens there sometimes. But you know, it's the way.
Bennyworth. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Bennyworth caught the apron trying to slow down coming to pit road, but he kept it under control. Go ahead.
It's the name of the game, is what I was going to say.
So, Sullivan, Kinder, Bonder, your top three. Lovern, Silvazzi is your top five. Hollins worked his way up to 6th. Jomo 7th. Jordan Evans is now 8th. All 20 laps of the current stint. So they are looking at pit road for another, I would say, 10 laps or so for their final stop.
Oh, somebody spun.
The answer pit
That is
lane.
Bonder. Bonder spun.
Bonder, the same thing that happened coming to pit road today that happened in the DW12 race.
No caution though, we stay green.
Yeah, it's the same thing coming to a green flag pit stop and hitting that, and it just shows you how hard it is in any style of car. And I think he hit the wall on the outside, first of all. Yeah, no. That's a little bit different.
In,
yeah, this was a little bit different.
He was coming in, just not in the style that he wanted.
Fortunately, a good finish for Bonder is ruined by that. Yeah. And now we're looking at one less contender. It's now Sullivan, Kinder, Lovern now 3rd, Silvazzi 4th.
Yeah, Tom Holland just came in, and he, for some reason, just doesn't want to have a brain and just still violates the pit rules. He asked about it pre-race, and he still did it wrong. So not much we can do there.
So the pit rule is you got to stay all the way to the right until you're about 4 or 5 positions from your stall.
Yes, and at the moment, this will be a 3-race suspension for him. Wouldn't surprise. I wouldn't be surprised if you wouldn't see Tom Holland for the next 3 races.
That is
20 points in a season is a bit much.
That is tough. That is tough. Okay, well, Liam O'Sullivan is your leader. There's Silvazzi and Lovern now are racing here for 3rd. And Lovern, I should once again give a shout out to our sponsor, Lovern Incorporated, who is sponsoring today's Pocono 350. They are professional services, and they offer professional services in renovation, remodeling, painting, and mold removal for government, commercial, and residential projects. To get a quote and learn more, like them on Facebook or follow them at their website or visit their website at loversinc.com today. Link is in the description. Silvazzi coming to pit road for his final stop. Want to thank Lovern's Inc. for just being a great provider and sponsor for the league all weekend long, sponsoring yesterday's race and today's race.
Yeah, Patrick came in hot, but so are Liam and Seb now on pit lane as well. So Gary stays out, gets a lap lead bonus point with 18 minutes and 32 seconds left on the clock. So we will finish this race in time.
Stay out as long as possible, Gary. Never know what's going to happen. Wait to run that tank dry. Jomo and Evans are also staying out. Jomo is in 2nd. And Evans is now 3rd. Strauss He is 14 laps into his stint, but we think he's going to have to do a splash and go at the end. So really the eventual, we think now, leader, that when all this cycles through, will be Liam O'Sullivan, who is in 5th. Liam's led 50.
Though.
Yep. Liam's led 51 laps today. Strauss has led 23. Very early on, though.
Lovern pitting in from the lead. Jomo gonna take it over now. Jordan Evans also stays out, so those two, the only ones who are yet to pit still. And then Matthias is the first who did come in, and he should be good to go to the end. Actually, I take that back because he pitted about 10 laps before Liam did, so he might be in trouble.
Yeah, I think he's going to be short. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before, but I think he's going to be short.
No, you're right. He pitted with like 29 laps to go, which is way outside the window that you can make. So yeah, Matthias has to pit as Liam to the inside gets the the net lead back.
Yeah, the net lead. Yep.
Jomo really careful on the pit in.
As Seb Kinder then I think is probably in his best interest for Strauss to try to help out Kinder if he can and get him close, as that's what he's doing. He's getting out of the way and gave him the draft. Try to run down Liam, so that will be into the wall for Strauss, and that is going to be a caution. And, well, you helpeth your teammate, and then sometimes it taketh away, and that's exactly what happened here. Is he smacked the wall a ton, and 3. Oh, he got loose. He caught it. Got loose again. Caught it. Loose. Caught it. Oh, and then it catches and it goes directly into the wall. I don't know if he was thinking about maybe coming to pit road at that time to make his pit stop, but yeah, the car went wicked on him.
I think what happened was that Matthias let Seb by, and he was already trying to predict how much weight jacket he was going to need. Remember that he is on all tires.
Yep.
He's been charging hard on them, so the right rear has been taking a beating pretty hard the last 10, 15 laps that he's been running. But I don't think he got as much dirty air on the wing as he was expecting, so that's why he had too much weight jacker in, and that's why he got so loose.
Yeah, watch this, and I caught it. I don't have. Oh, caught it. Oh. Kind of reminiscent of Ryan Hunter-Ray when he was qualifying for the Pocono 500 back. Was it not 2016 somewhere in there? Yeah.
The one where he was injured from some other incident. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, and he further injury to insult there. Yeah. So Jordan Evans is our leader.
He's gonna pit though.
He's got to pit. Yeah, 28 laps into this thing. And now, are we looking at a timed race?
Oh, absolutely. We have, 14 minutes and 26 seconds to go with, 19 laps to run. So yeah, I see 14:20 on our timer. Yeah, so it looks like the timer has matched the real timer now.
So we are going to see a rare timed race. It's been a while. Lead now gets handed over to Liam O'Sullivan. The timer is counting down 13 minutes and 10 seconds, roughly, is kind of what we're showing on screen. But again, that might be showing, and then there's Coker getting the wave around. I think we're showing time to finish the race, not time that the race is going to expire. So kind of in the neighborhood. We'll keep you updated. Very much like an old style kart race here back in the 80s. A lot of attrition. We only have 9 cars left running, I believe. No, Bennyworth is still out there. He's in 10th. He is the last car running. He is 2 laps down. Coker got the lucky dog, right? You've got the lucky dog enabled here? I think we do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Poker should get the wave.
Yeah, so he gets the lucky dog wave around. I'll bring him back on the lead lap. So that'll be 9 now on the lead lap. It's O'Sullivan, Kinder, Silvazzi, Lovern, Holland now in the top 5. Morales, Wagner 7th, Evans 8th, and Coker 9th. Many were 10th. 10 cars left on the racetrack. That is your standings. We are coming to green next time by, I believe. I see the lights out on the pace car, so they're trying to keep the caution sessions as short as possible. Benny, we're staying to the inside. Probably going to let Wags go on the outside. Seeing Holland flashing, that's not going to be good. Especially in this last bit of a sprint coming to the finish of this race. A very long day here at Pocono. Cars off, the pace cars off the racetrack field under the command of Liam O'Sullivan. He will bring us up to speed, and we are green flag, hopefully for the final time here at Pocono.
12 minutes exactly left on the clock as well. So we are running to time now, not laps anymore.
O'Sullivan, Kinder, and Silvazzi's clear through 3. And a very interested party is Gary Lovern in 4th. Having himself a very Gary-like race. He's been kind of hanging out in the field all day long, and now as the race closes in its closing stages here, he's got himself in a position for a very good finish. Wags in 5th. Wags is not wanting to waste time. Gary does a little bit of a pump fake to the inside, but does not hold back Wags very long. Wags now clear to the inside in 2. Gary very high in 2. Keep it off the wall, Gary.
Coker got by Jomo as well, so he is now up into
7th, yeah. He might catch Holland. Holland down to the outside of Wagner. That's Lovern, excuse me. Oh, and he passes on the outside going into 1. Oh. I think it caught Gary off guard there. But now he's going to be in a battle with Wagner. Move Holland up to 5th. Wagner 4th.
To the outside.
And we got to get a bit of a, Jomo and Evans and Bennyworth involved there. Almost 3 wide at one point.
Seb looking to the outside of Liam in turn 3 here. I think this is going to be the race for the win. I think Patrick is going to be his rear gunner.
Gets a little bit of the draft, goes to the inside. We're going to drag race into 1 for the lead in the closing stages of this race. And we move Seb Kinder to the lead. Yes, he does. But now can we hold it for the lap? As Liam O'Sullivan attempts to cross over now, going down the Long Pond Straight into 2. He will have the line and the momentum. And now we'll see Kinder keep it hanging out on the high side. O'Sullivan comes up, gives him the dirty air. Kinder now sticks in the draft, crosses over. Now he has a low side going into 3, but that's not necessarily the preferred line, because the preferred line is the high side, especially as we are hot and these tires are starting to wear out. Back temperature is 106. Inside now, Kinder this time in the 1, getting the position. Goes to the inside to defend. Goes to the outside to defend. Instead of going with him, Sullivan just holds his line, is going to run it into 2, and he's going to get the position on the exit of 2.
Liam going for a 2nd win this season after the Indy 500. Didn't win any when he came into the league last season, and suddenly going for 2 wins this year. So
2 of the, I guess, kind of crown jewels here.
You're right. The Las Vegas 500K could also be seen as a triple crown race, by the way. If you want the unofficial triple crown.
And well, we'll get the sign up for the throwback liveries here soon up on the Discord. Coker to the inside with Evans. And now Lovern back. This is a battle for 6th. Coker's going to send it down to the bottom. Evans way up high. O'Sullivan and Kinder back again fighting for the lead. Wags around Savazzi.
Liam is guarding that middle line in turn 3 because he knows, and I just told him as well, like, keep holding it because that's the golden ticket to the win.
Both drivers using the high line and 1. And that
now
just
it's all about aero blocking.
and it's allowing Wagner to get back in this battle too. The harder they fight. Lovern and Evans fighting down the Long Pond Straight. This is for 6th.
Ooh, Seb again to the inside, really close to the right rear of Liam, left rear. Does clear him at the line, but Liam with the momentum off of turn 3 still able to come back to the outside. Liam still being very nicely stepped.
Yeah, and he slides up in front of. Oh, I think Liam might have kissed the wall a little there. If not, you could slide a piece of paper between his wheels and the wall because it was that close. And here comes Wagner. Wagner's going to take a look to the inside going into 3. And he's going to go for 2 as Wagner is now underneath Liam. And he's going to have at least the lead coming off the corner, but that's going to have the lead at the line. And now all of a sudden we have a new player involved. Here's Matty Wags. Wagner had an interesting race himself. Down low in the 1.
Yeah, Wagner has the freshest tires of the top 3 as well, so he is in a really good position.
Yeah, they're about 5 laps to the better.
Remember also, Wagner has a history this race of washing up in turn 3 more than he would have.
Oh, dear.
It might come into play as well. Yeah, Wagner with the fresher tires is able to hold the inside much better than anyone so far has done, but that advantage is going to dissipate pretty quickly as well with...
Coker and Lovern doing the massive weave down the front straight a little bit further back in the picture. 9 to go, but I don't think we're going to be able to get there as we're going to go to a timed race here before we even get to the completed distance of 350 miles.
Yes, 5 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock. So that's around 6 or 7 laps at most. Wagner clears Liam for the lead.
I don't think Savazzi has enough to catch this group unless they all really start racing hard with them. They're maybe make it a 4-way race. We're definitely in a 3-way battle right now. Great run by Wags off of 2. I think he held his lefts on the line to help them rotate through the corner with a lot of speed. He clips the yellow line that time into 3. Gets a lot of rotation. Is going to get the lead. Is going to lead at the line. Oh, Liam just slides up in front of him a little bit. Going to the 1.
On entry.
A lot of gamesmanship. Inches. Now we're talking football. We're battle of inches they got going on now.
Yeah, what Liam needs to do is he needs to make sure that he enters turn 3 in front of Wagner so he can dictate the line.
But he doesn't have the preferred line in 3 this time.
No, not this time around. But if he has that preferred line and he is ahead, he can actually dictate a little bit where every car goes, because you can see it easier if you're behind on the inside where Liam is versus if you're on the outside and you don't see him, if that makes any sense. So
yep.
That's something that Liam needs to try to accomplish, and then he can probably get a clear run to the finish, but that's a long ways away. Still 3 minutes and 20 minutes to go.
time is an approximate time at the top. That is not, it's a time to the completion of the distance. We're going to be a timed race before, and it's going to end before then by a matter of seconds. We're probably in the closer of 3-minute range now, which is probably looking at closer like 4 or 5 laps here. 4 laps possibly.
Yeah, 2 minutes 42 seconds with Liam again to the inside of Wagner. As long as we cross the line before the timer runs out, we'll get that that next lap in.
And side by side of the 3, down the short chute. Run off the high side, although Liam could have closed the door, but he didn't. Wags has led 34 laps today. Liam's led 62. Tried to close the door, couldn't.
I'll watch the timer for you, Gary.
Okay. Tell me when will be white flag lap.
We might actually be able to just barely squeeze in all the laps by like 2 seconds.
Crossover.
One minute 27 left at the line. It's going to be super close.
3 to go. We are looking at distance or time now. It's that close. Down the Long Pond Straight. Liam looking for the second crown jewel win. Wags looking for his first, I believe this will be his first career VOR win, although he has other series wins in other series, I believe, on the Dark Horse, ISRA. He just recently won in their truck series a couple weeks ago at Atlanta. 2 laps to go.
We are going to go the distance, just
all right,
barely.
Going to go the distance. I think Wags has won at the Area 51 level before. Liam pulling away by 3/10 that time.
Yeah, now he is in the position to arrow block Wagner just as best as he can. Now he has to break the draft and weave. There we go. Seb gonna look on Wagner as well. White flag in the air.
And wow, he lost 2 possessions that time. He lost one to Kinder and lost one to Silvazzi. Sullivan now.
He's got loose off the 3.
Yeah, Sullivan now leader by 5 over Seb Kinder. And unless he really messes up one of these corners, I don't see Kinder reeling in Sullivan. Sullivan now Alpha 2 down the short chute. One more time to negotiate 3. And he's got in the bag the second crown jewel this season at Indianapolis and at Pocono for 350 miles. And we sneak it in. Liam O'Sullivan, your winner at Pocono. Seb Kinder second. Wagner. Did Silvazzi run out of fuel?
Yes, but he still got it. P3 for Patrick.
All right. So Kinder third, Kinder second, Silvazzi third, Wagner fourth. Tom Holland, who's probably looking at a race suspension after this, gets his first top 5, unfortunately.
The suspension is unfortunately the top 5.
Right. That's what I meant. Yeah. It was like, well, you now you got a momentum, but you got to wait a couple of weeks now before you can use it again.
So just to give everyone an idea of how close the timer was to running out, we made it to the line 6 seconds to the good, but that's too close for comfort.
Wow.
Really. Yeah, good win from Liam. Unbiased as a teammate. Still a good guy.
And here are your results. Liam wins by 3/10 over Seb. Great run for Seb, up 4 spots to finish second. Silvazzi is in third. Another podium finish for him in a row. Remember, he was on the podium at Laguna Seca, so Patrick's going to be coming up in the points here, and I imagine Julian's going to go run and change the points here so we can get an update on who's done what. Wagner, with 2 laps to go, was challenging for the win, and unfortunately, the guys say he got loose off of 3, and it cost him a lot of momentum. He comes home 4th, but it's still a good run for him. I'm sure he's going to want more, and I don't blame him, especially after being so close to seeing the white flag there as the leader. Holland 5th. Shane Coker getting his best, I believe this is his best career finish here of the league. He finished 6th. Jordan Edmonds, I believe that's his best career finish, 7th. Jomo, I think Joseph Morales had 2 top 10s this weekend here in each one of the races that we had before. So a good overall weekend for him at 8th. Lovern was challenging there for a top 5 in the closing stages, but just one thing after another, getting attacked by those guys attacking back there. Coker, Evans, Morales, if you watched the background, they were just all over the place, all over Lovern. Got them and unfortunately dropped Lovern back to 9th. Bittyworth, one of the fastest drivers all day, but unfortunately had his own set of issues. He comes home 10th, 2 laps down. And then we got into the guys that had just had days they want to forget. Strauss smacks the turn 3 wall. Bonder smacks the turn 3 wall. Molina and Christensen in an incident coming to turn 2 that I'm sure will be reviewed. Jesper getting collected in an incident between Julian, also getting collected in that incident. That was Aiden Millward getting loose in turn 3 with a little help from Wags. Santos in 18th having a long day. Inch having a long day in 19th. Gallus, same thing in 20th. A lot of attrition today. And Boney, just seems like forever and an age ago, back in the early stages, finishing 21st.
Standings are updated, by the way.
They are? Okay, we'll take a look at them here momentarily.
Okay, well, I'll leave you guys to it. Thanks, everybody. And I'll get to preparing for Kentucky. So see you all in 2 weeks.
You got it. Thanks for hanging out. All right, let's there we go. And we get Patrick here. Another podium for him. All right. And we'll bring up Patrick here. Patrick, welcome back to the podium. That's 2 races in a row, but man, what a long day. Talk about your race. How challenging was it out there?
First things first, I never, ever, ever in my life expected to be here. Like, you know what, I'm not the best in ovals, but I'm really happy that I made it. Yeah, so basically, the reason why I didn't queued is because of I was scared about getting a packet loss mid-race, and I didn't want it to screw anyone's race with my connection, because I already got a connection issue at Petit Le Mans earlier today. So yeah, I didn't queued. I made it to the field quite quickly. Obviously, I had issues with the tire wear, especially in the rears towards the end. But luckily, I didn't hit any walls. Luckily, I had 1 or 2 slides, but it's okay. So yeah, basically, whole race I was just hanging and trying to do my best and capitalize on others, and it actually happened. So yeah.
Well, talk about your race as a general. We almost got to the time limit. That was a longer race than normal. I mean, how you feeling after all that?
I need sleep. I need to sleep, to be honest. Like, I'm really tired, and I need my bed at this point. So.
All right. Well, we won't hold you up any longer. Second straight podium. After last race at Laguna Seca. It shows you now you are ninth in the, seventh in the standings. They just got updated. You're just 2 behind Strauss and about 30 or so still behind Forsyth. Even Forsyth had good enough points. He could miss a race and still hang on to the top 5. But you're kind of storming up through the standings here. So how's the, before we let you go, how's the remainder of your outlook of your season look on the schedule? Do you think you have a shot at the top 5?
I think so. Kentucky was really good last season until I got dragged out quite late. Phoenix, I don't know. I didn't do well last time. Detroit, obviously Detroit, and then Vegas. Vegas is just pretty unknown for me because I only race with stock cars, obviously. So, and I know the track from from that perspective, but from Indy, I have no clue. So we will see. Hopefully, but I know that I'm aware of that. I've already used my free drop rounds, so I don't. There's like no opportunities to bot at this point. So we will see. Hopefully.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. Anyone to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah. That was an awesome teamwork from the side of TWR, from everyone, Seb, Matt, and Matthias. So it was a really strong race from everyone. So yeah, hoping that if we can continue like this for the remainder of the season. And thank you, everyone.
No problem. And I think before we let you go, I wanted to change my cameras here. I thought you might have had the purple lap. Wagner had the purple lap. So, your team did pretty good today. Purple lap and did everything but to get the win, unfortunately.
Yeah, we had the good mental games at the end. So after the last cautions, so
all right,
it would have worked, but it didn't, sadly.
Well, there's always next time. So we'll catch you at the next race at Kentucky. But congrats on that second straight podium.
Yeah, thank you so much. See you guys. Good night.
No problem. See ya. All right, and let's bring up Seb Kinder. Let's bring up Salvasi real quick in his stats here. There's his stats. I don't know if he led any laps, but we want to give him. Nope, he didn't. But we don't want to give him any credit if he did. Oops, I want to do that. I want to do that. There we go. And so let's go back up to Seb Kinder here and bring him on up. Seb Kinder joining us here in the booth. Gary and Ryan, Erik King. Seb, congratulations. Welcome to P2 on the podium. Just missed out on getting that win, but you were up at the front all day today, improved 4 spots. But just by virtue of just keeping everything clean, you had yourself in a position to win there at the end.
Yes and no. I feel like at some point I couldn't get even closer to Liam. And I feel like second was the best I could do. I tried to get him to tire stuff as much as possible for Matt, who was on fresher tires. In the end, we had 3 TWR car against Liam, and he still managed to win. Oh, well.
Well, there's always next time. Sometimes when you have that clean air out in front, that might be the deciding factor. But long race today, so I'm sure that you're probably tired and wanting to get some rest. But we'll go ahead and let you get your shout-outs taken care of. This is, I believe, your first podium of the season.
It is my first podium of the season. Like, recently times have been so tough for me in sim racing all in general. Like, I'm cursed currently in my stock calling on Mondays. Like, I'm on like a 3 DNF first week.
Oh, well, hopefully this is a sign of things to change.
This is a sign of things to change. I mean, to be fair, I love this car. I love this track. And just suddenly my love and my appreciation for the IndyCar suddenly got revived during this race because, like, recently, I feel like, oh man, I'm not really enjoying this as much as I used to. But tonight, like, all the enjoyment came back, and I just care about it so much. But in terms of shout out, because I mean, it is running late, so I'll keep it brief. I would usually shout out all the usual sponsors, Team Motor Racing setups and stuff like that. But there's a special shout outs I want to do for both my brother and my sister, because they're amazing people. And no matter what happens in the future. They know they have an annoying little brother, but still a little brother for them. So yeah, I want to say hello to them and say I love them.
All right, well, that's really, really cool. Well, shout out to your brother and sister as well. Well, congratulations. We'll let you go celebrate and then let you get some sleep because I'm sure it's late where you are. But P2 here today, and it reignited his love with the IR18, which is a good thing. And we'll catch you at the next race when we get to Kentucky here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, sure. See you there.
Yeah. And another happy finisher there. But I know we're going to have a happy winner here. And let's bring up Liam. And in the booth, today's winner, second crown jewel of the year. If we had an official Triple Crown, you'd be halfway there, or 2/3 of the way there. But kind of got an unofficial one this season. But a second win this season and the second biggest race of the season at Pocono. Congratulations, Liam O'Sullivan, your winner. You really had to battle for that one out. It looks like, and not to mention, you just didn't have numbers on your side. Where you had all of the Team Watson guys up there racing you, and then one of the Team Watson guys had better tires to boot.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke last time I was in here about this, me and this 12 team R10 Autosport executing every single race if we want to challenge for the championship at tracks like this, where I'm proving that I'm not just a road course guy that can challenge. And again, like Indy proved that again. I think it was a great race when we got going, I thought. But yeah, I was under pressure that whole time, especially with the time limit. It kind of threw something else into it. Really kind of made it the strategy come into it at the end in a way that was a bit scary for me out in front. And I made a bit of a blunder where I thought I could make it and didn't, and then gave up the lead. But other than that, it was a perfect day for me. Again, just whatever it is, the confidence on this low downforce setup at tracks like this, it really seems to work with me.
Well, you are 20 points out of the lead now with your teammate Julian. Julian did not have a great day. He did join us in the booth, so that made up for his day for a little bit, but he had to DNF early. Do you think that you have a shot at challenging the guy for the championship here, coming up with these next round of tracks on the schedule, which we got... We got, of course, Kentucky next. Then we have Phoenix, Sonoma, and then we're going to wrap up at Las Vegas. Do you think you got a shot here in 4 races to make up 20 points?
I don't think I have to make up 20 points because the drop rounds haven't come into it yet.
Okay.
And I've already missed 2 races, and obviously Julian's here for every race, so it should automatically kind of close that gap for me. And obviously Jesper had a bad day, and I don't think he could afford to drop points either with the drop round situation for him. So I've kind of got 1 spare still. Phoenix is definitely probably my weakest one coming up. Short tracks aren't probably my strongest suit, so I'll be aiming for a top 5 there. But other 3 tracks, there's no reason why I can't go and win, which sounds, in a way, last season I wouldn't have said that, but I feel like I'm in such a strong position, especially now not chasing points. I think I'm in a strong position after following this race with, especially Vegas is a high speed track. So some similarities, again, mile and a half, which can be crazy and bring another set of peril like this race in a way. But obviously Belle, which we go to street track, I know I'm going to be strong. So the second half of the season, which is what I said at Indy, really lends itself quite nicely to me. So I'm expecting to continue the strong form further on. So I'm just a bit out of breath still.
All right. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go?
Mum, dad, granddad for watching. I think it was 2 hours in the end with the 8 cautions we had.
Long day, yes.
Yeah. R10 Autosport, obviously. Again, we had I think half the team involved in accidents, especially that one that wiped out about 5 or 6 cars on the front straight, which was unfortunate. But again, it's about making the most of them opportunities when it counts, and I did on this occasion. So while it was fortuitous, they crashed and I was the only championship kind of guy left in it. It was taking that chance and just finishing the day with a solid amount of points. And if I came away with the win, that was perfect. So, yeah, really excited to head to Kentucky, which is in 2 weeks, I believe.
Well, and your words sounds like it was the perfect, well, at least perfect day. I can't say perfect weekend. Yesterday, you had a shot for the podium there, and it kind of got taken away right at the last possible second, but redeemed today for sure, and looking good in the championship. Congratulations. We will let you go. Go celebrate, but we will catch you in a couple weeks at Kentucky.
Yep, thanks, guys.
We'll see ya. So everyone is talking about Detroit, and we just looked on the schedule. We'll bring that back up on the screen one more time. It says Detroit on the schedule. However, if we look in Sim Racer Hub, where the league records are held, it says Sonoma before Las Vegas. So I don't know. I guess we'll just see in a couple when we get to that point in the schedule what loads. It's where are we going today, Ryan? I don't know. Let's see what loads. Oh, okay, it is Sonoma. Oh, okay, yeah, it is Detroit. But yeah, as far as I see on Sim Racer Hub, it's Kentucky, Phoenix, Sonoma, and Las Vegas. Although we might want to look in iRacing. iRacing might actually tell us. He might have them scheduled out that far. I'm not sure. Might actually tell us eventually what it is. But one schedule says Detroit, one says Sonoma. Either way, it's a road course. But let's talk about the day at hand. A long day. We had to put in. We definitely get our money's worth today broadcasting. A long day here on a race that we got in under the gun just barely. It became a timed race at one point, and then they hustled up, and they got it to the point where we could finish to the lap, the assigned lap distance and mileage. Thankfully, we didn't have any green-white checkers here because it's IndyCar. We don't believe in that type of stuff. But Ryan, talk about the race, your thoughts and final thoughts before we move on to Kentucky next.
Oh, as you said, long day, and a lot of people didn't make the finish today. And I think this race is going to have a big impact on the title race going forward. It goes without a doubt with Jesper Orman, Julian Altana, a lot of the heavy hitters not scoring points today.
Yeah, and they'll, even though we haven't really seen all the drops and everything added, we will probably start seeing those applied as we get closer to the end of the season. But yeah, extremely long day, and congratulations to Liam O'Sullivan for getting that win. Kind of the second crown jewel here of the season. The unofficial crown jewel is Vegas. We'll see if he can do it. But we don't have this season at least, don't have a triple crown proper. But anytime you can pull off wins at Pocono and Indy, that's a big deal. Last time we've had a real IndyCar driver win two of the crown jewels in the single season. It was Juan Montoya in 2000, and it wasn't even in the same series. He ran Indy in the IRL, and he won Michigan in kart. So, yeah, it's extremely rare for someone to do it. And it didn't even happen over in the ERL. I mean, Pinero had a shot. He won here at Pocono, lost in Indy. We see it in the Indy Oval Series, I believe. Starting off the season, it was Malechka won the first race for the Triple Crown, and then Oster won the next race in the Triple Crown. So it's just really tough to do, to put together wins at the Crown Jewels. So congratulations to Liam. Seb Kinder getting a great P2. Hopefully that gets the monkey off his back. It's some good luck coming his way. And Silvazzi, second straight podium for the guy. And he wasn't really expecting it, but he got it, and congratulations to him. Join Ryan and myself again November 2nd for round 11 of season 12 of the VOR IndyCar Series as the teams and drivers head to Kentucky Speedway. Coverage will begin approximately at 3 p.m. Eastern. And that is right on the verge, I think, of the time change. So we're not looking at a time change for this race. But after the third, there might be a time difference in how the VOR races come out. So just pay attention to the channel. And for the correct broadcast times in your area, everything will be right here on the channel. Also, if you have any questions, hit up Julian in the Discord. and he can answer that as well. But it will be our last race before the time change. So just make a note of it. And then everything you need on YouTube, just search out Velocity Online Racing. You can find the channel and subscribe. You're on it right now, might as well do it. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support us with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought on today's race. And if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing the like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe while you're at it. Hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out on more of Velocity Online Racing's other iRacing programming, including action from their R18 Sprint and, of course, their DW12 Iconic Series. Today's Pocono 350 was brought to you by Lovern's Incorporated. Lovern's provides professional services and renovation, remodeling, painting, and mold removal for government, commercial, and residential projects. For a quote or to learn more, like them on Facebook or visit them on their website at lovernsinc.com today. That's lovernsinc.com. Link is in the description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter or Instagram. Links are in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about Velocity Online Racing and what they do, visit velocityonlineracing.com. Like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter. So, for the infamous Ryan Eric King, everyone else here at Velocity Online Racing, I'm Gary Godsoe saying all happy Saturday. And thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless. Come home safe. Catch us again right here November 2nd at Kentucky for the next race of the VOR IndyCar Series Championship. We'll see ya.